Hello, and thanks for joining me today. Canada's housing market isn't cooling. We are seeing it collapse before our eyes. Prices in Toronto and Vancouver are falling fast. Pre-construction buyers are walking away and investor crowd is completely gone. This is the correction we've been warned about for so long. That seemed like it was never going to happen. And now it's hitting harder than anyone expected. And while the headlines keep dancing around it, I'm honestly just gonna say it. This is a slow motion housing collapse. The market is finally running out of rope. I recently posted a video about the market collapse and how major banks are sending out warnings. A lot of you seemed very passionate about it, likely because it impacts us all in one way or another. So I decided to dive deeper into the issue and lay out some fundamental issues that brought us to the state of our market. We are seeing homes sit longer, prices dropping month after month, and desperate sellers slashing prices just to offload. According to the latest data, Toronto's average home price dropped to $1.12 million in May, down over 4% year over year. Detached homes, they're down 5.4%, and condos took a sharper hit at a 6.5% drop. They're down to around an average price of $683,000. Meanwhile, in Vancouver, things are worse. The benchmark price is down approximately 5.9%, sitting at just over an average price of $1.27 million. Sales volumes dropped almost 19%, and inventory is the highest it's been in over a decade. But this isn't just a problem in isolated regions. This is happening across the country. Calgary, Ottawa, Montreal, prices are slipping and buyers are nowhere to be found. So let's look at the main reasons that are causing this. It looks like we've got a perfect storm, and no one, especially policymakers, want to admit how bad this actually is. So first off, let's talk interest rates. This one's obvious. The Bank of Canada raised rates to fight inflation and slow down the real estate market. But now we're looking at rates from 4.5% to 6% on a traditional mortgage. That crushed buying power. If you qualified for a $900,000 home 2 years ago, now you're lucky to scrape together $600,000. Furthermore, people who bought variable rate mortgages in 2021 and early 2022, most are now paying just interest, or worse, they can't even afford the interest portion of their mortgage. This to me was a fundamental error that they made. They waited much too long to let things get way out of hand before they started to increase the rates. I felt like it was too little, too late. The market had every symptom of a bubble. And if we know one thing about bubbles, is that they always eventually burst. Then we've got the speculators and over-leveraged buyers. During COVID, when money was dirt cheap, investors were buying anything with four walls. Pre-construction condos, second homes, Airbnbs, you name it. In Toronto and Vancouver, up to 1/3 of purchases were investor-driven, depending on the month. Now, they can't cash flow the units. Rents aren't covering the mortgages, and they're ditching properties left and right. Assignments are flooding the market. Buyers are bailing on pre-construction deals, and they're walking away from $50,000 to $200,000 deposits like it's nothing. But they have no choice. Everyone kept saying immigration is going to save the market. Sure, Canada welcomed over 1 million newcomers last year, which I'm going to talk in length in an upcoming video. But these immigrants, they're not buying $1.3 million detached homes in Woodbridge. They were looking for rentals and government housing. I mean, even the rental market is completely unaffordable. And the government, they finally slapped foreign buyer bans and new taxes on non-residents. That dried up the chunk of demand in places like Richmond Hill or downtown Vancouver, where there are a lot of foreign buyers. Then there's the pre-construction complexity. Developers oversold, plain and simple. They pushed thousands of units during the boom, and now people can't close. Financing is falling through, rates are too high, appraisals are coming in short, and buyers are simply stuck. So they're assigning, canceling, or defaulting. A lot of these projects in the GTA were sold at the peak, $1,300 per square foot. And now those same units are worth minimum 20% less on the resale value. And that's if they sell at all. That's bad for the whole system and everybody involved. Folks, thanks so much for joining me today. If you've made it this far, please do me a favor, smash that like button, drop a comment, and let me know what your area is experiencing. And lastly, please subscribe if you want more Canadian breakdowns like this. All right, so now let's talk about debt. Canadians are carrying record levels of household debt. The latest numbers from Stats Canada show that household debt to income ratios are sitting at around 185%. Meaning, for every $1 that we earn, we owe $1.80. That is one of the highest in the world and the highest in the G7. With mortgages renewing at higher rates, credit card balances adding up, car loans surging, there's just no room left. People are selling because they literally can't afford to stay put. And it's only going to get worse as more fixed rate mortgages come up for renewal later this year and early into next year. And here's the one thing that no one talks about. Buyer psychology. I mean, it is a thing. When people think prices are going up, they panic buy. But when prices are falling, everybody freezes. No one wants to buy into a sinking market. It's like musical chairs and no one wants to be holding the bag. So listings pile up, price cuts get steeper, and the whole thing spirals. That's exactly what's happening right now, especially in suburban Toronto and the Vancouver condo market. Also, CMHC and the Bank of Canada keep saying a soft landing is coming. But the data says otherwise. Reuters just published a housing poll where economists now expect prices to fall another 2% nationwide this year and another 3 to 5% in major cities like Toronto. And that's assuming no more surprises, no deeper recession, no more trade chaos with the US, which we all know is nowhere near the end. So where does that leave us? We've got a broken model. It's built on speculation, cheap credit, investor demand, foreign investments, and wild population growth. And a system where our own population cannot afford to enter the market. But the foundation's been crumbling for a while. So the solution would be smarter policies, less catering to developers, and more focus on people who actually live here. Because if we keep ignoring this correction, it's only going to get worse before it gets better. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to my video today. Please hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and toss me a like so more people can see this video. If your mortgage is coming up for renewal, or if you're thinking about buying or selling, let me know in the comments. What are you seeing where you live? I appreciate you being here and have a wonderful day.